Welcome to my bike journey on the Great Allegheny Passage and the C&O Trail. Follow along with me as I make my way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Washington, D.C. Today, on day one, we'll travel from Pittsburgh to West Newton, Pennsylvania. We'll cover only about 35 miles, and our elevation change will be pretty minimal. I'll cover the day's journey, as well as some interesting points along the way.
So this is day one, welcome, and here we are at Point State Park in Pittsburgh. Returned my rental car, rode a couple miles and found the fountain, and we're ready to begin the day. Just about a 35-mile ride to West Newton, Pennsylvania. Downtown Pittsburgh, finding my way to the, really what would be considered the beginning of the trailhead off of Grant Street. Got my headlight on and my tail light flashing. So I should be pretty visible this morning. Right at the beginning of the trail and heading towards the Hot Metal Bridge. I left pretty early this morning, got down here. The sun was shining, but darned if it doesn't look like rain now. It is pretty hot and humid. It was a little bit hairy getting going. You know, the rental car return was in a parking garage. There's not a lot of room to take my bike out and get it all set up. So here's the Hot Metal Bridge that I'm going to go over. So called because you used to carry molten iron across the river to the mills, I think, or so the plaque said. The Hot Metal Bridge looking back towards downtown Pittsburgh. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers training facility. So all of a sudden the pavement ended, and this is the first of the crushed limestone, and this will be kind of like the surface of the trail all the way to Maryland. So I'm about 10 miles in. I'm at a rest area called the Pump House, and kind of a celebration of the old steel making that used to happen in this area. Quite impressive. So this is the spot of the Great Battle of Homestead, where Henry Clay Frick, the manager of the Carnegie Steel Works, brought in the Pinkertons to lock the Union out of the steel factory. Battle followed, and I think 7 or 8 people were killed. This is called the Steel Valley section of the Great Allegheny Passage. And as you can see, it's still pretty heavy, former industrial. So about 12 miles in now, and the trail remains relatively flat. Generally we're climbing. I think we've actually climbed about 200 feet so far, but it's you can hardly feel it. So we're going to cross over these tracks here, but nice spot to take a look at some of the industry. Okay, we're about, I don't know, about 15 miles in, and reached the city of Duquesne. I mean, you really got to give it to the people of Pennsylvania. This section of the trail must have been just really difficult to build. Continuously from downtown Pittsburgh, out along the river, and through all of the old industry. We made it to the city of McKeesport. So we're a little over 20 miles in now. I thought it'd be a good time to give a little overview of the bicycle. This is a trek checkpoint. It's considered a gravel bike.
It's a road bike with disc brakes and just a little wider tire. Up here on the handlebar I have my Garmin Edge 1030. That gives me directions and all the metrics you could possibly want: speed and cadence and heartbeat and time to destination and miles to destination. That's the GoPro, that's the camera remote. So the camera's mounted on my helmet, so just by pressing the shutter button there I can take pictures or video. This top tube bag just holds my phone and a snack, a rag, and my wallet. And coming back here, you'll see my helmet back here, and that's the GoPro on top of the helmet. You'll see mounted underneath the seat is a tail light, but that's a Garmin radar unit. So it literally displays on the head unit if a car is coming behind me as well. And it'll blink faster and brighter when a car is coming. So there's the GoPro on top of the helmet. And then in the back I've got Arkle waterproof bags, one on each side, and an extra water bottle, just a plastic water bottle. The Arkles have, you know, my clothes and my computer and stuff for the journey basically. And this I debated quite a bit. These are insulated water bottles. They are heavier than plastic, but boy, I'll tell you, they're still cold after, I don't know, maybe 5 hours now. Well, 6 hours ago that I left the house. So that's the bike, and that's what I'll be using for the next 9 days. So this is the city of Boston, and there was a little visitor center alongside the trail, and met a wonderful couple. They're part of a group that takes care of the trail. Nice to see them.
Okay, we're about 30 miles into our trip today. Just going through the little town of Buena Vista, and weather still is a little toasty. 32 miles in today. It continues to get a little warmer. The sun is definitely coming out now. It's humid, but all in all I'm holding up pretty good. The trail